You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome to this season's kickoff of Red Devil Postgame. I'm your moderator, Akila Suggs. On this episode, we'll take a look back at GHS sports during the first quarter. Ahead, you can expect updates on football, volleyball, golf, cross country, and soccer. Plus, we've got an exclusive interview with the head coach of Memphis 901 FC. But first, reporter Aaron Parker has highlights of the football team season so far.
Hi, Akila. Despite a losing record, it's been an exciting football season for the Red Devils so far. The Devils have fought for every yard in every game. Starting off the season strong, Germantown defeated Kipp Collegiate School, winning the game with 50 unanswered points. But since the season opener, the Devils have been going through a rough patch. After 4 straight losses, some by just a single touchdown, the Devils are going to have to take a new approach if they want to finish the season strong. With the graduation of many of last year's starters and a new coaching staff, the team is taking this season to rebuild and adjust as new players and coaches get used to each other. With former Horn Lake offensive coordinator Tommy Farrell as the head coach for the Red Devils, the team has performed well, but so far has been unable to live up to the expectations of 2 undefeated seasons. Senior starters like Marcus Askew and Dwayne Akon II have done their best to keep the games close with good blocking and successful runs. As the season comes to a close, it all comes down to whether or not the team can shape up in time for the playoffs. We look forward to seeing what's next from the Red Devils. Akila, back to you.
Thanks, Aaron. The volleyball team has had an exciting season of ups and downs. Reporter Maricus Lambert takes a look at the Lady Red Devils season.
Hey Akila, this season the Lady Red Devils volleyball team improved with each game. With an 8-7 record, the girls have been picking up on skills and teamwork every week. Their first game of the season against Ridgeway laid the foundation they needed to have a successful season. They had exciting wins against Southwind, but also some disappointing losses. Their drive and dedication got stronger with every loss, which made the team play harder in the next game. They had planned on redeeming themselves in the SCIAA championship, but they were outscored by White Station. That's your look at the volleyball season. Akila, back to you.
Thanks, Maricas. Volleyball head coach Julie Henry and senior player Kristen Williams are here with us to talk about their perspective on the season.
Hi, thank you guys for talking with us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, congratulations on making the SCIAA championship for the 4th year. How was this year different from previous years?
Well, we've actually always been undefeated in our conference. So we go every year and we work really hard to try to beat White Station every year because they also win their conference every year.
Coach Henry, with the loss of many senior players, was it difficult to rebuild the team this year?
We did lose some senior players, but we also gained a lot of veteran senior players who'd been on varsity for a while, and they were really instrumental in the success that we had this year. They were very nurturing for the younger players that we had join the team. They looked out for the other players on the team, and they led in the type of energy that we needed to have on the court. They did a good job with that.
Kristen, you are a senior, so it is your last year. What was the most memorable moment of the season for you?
Honestly, the most memorable was our summer practices. We usually practice about really all day, and it's really always fun to just go out there and have fun playing with my team and my friends.
Coach Henry, what do you think were some of the team's strengths and weaknesses this season?
We are really strong in setting and in our hits. We also do a good job. We've really improved our serve receive this year. It was a weakness that we've had for a couple of seasons, but our seniors in the back row did a great job of anchoring that for us and really leading the team and how to make sure our feet are moving to the ball and passing it up. So that was a weakness that became much better throughout the season. I was really proud of that increase in the ability.
Would you do anything differently?
Always. There's always things I would do differently, but you never can really pinpoint exactly until maybe after a few more weeks of reflection. But there's always that I look back on season and think, you know what, next year this is what I'm going to do differently. This year I'm going to hold on to it because it worked great and I'm just going to keep building on that. So there's always stuff that I will look back and want to change and tweak and get better at.
Kristen, how did you find the time between schoolwork and volleyball?
Honestly, in the beginning, it was really hard for me. Usually I like to, get rest and then come back to school and work on my assignments at school. It may not be the best habit, but that's how I found my balance between school and volleyball for the past couple of years.
Teamwork is a big factor in any team's success. How do you think team dynamics played into the season's success on and off the court?
Because our girls became really close knit. I'm not saying that it was a perfect 100, nirvana all day long, but they really started caring for each other and they were really wanting to be there for each other, and it really helped because if somebody was down, they could boost each other up. It was very important.
Yeah, honestly, this year, it was probably one of the best years we ever had on and off the court. We built relationships outside of volleyball, and if it wasn't for volleyball, I wouldn't have all of the friends that I have today.
Do you plan on playing volleyball in college?
Yes, I plan on attending Millsaps College and playing volleyball there.
All of my seniors have been getting college. College coaches are contacting me and asking about my seniors that have played this year and wanting to know if they can recruit them. And so it's an exciting time for them because they have a lot of opportunities opening up for them. And I have a few juniors that are also starting to get some looks at colleges.
What can players expect next year?
We're going to keep building. We're going to have to make sure we work hard on our increasing our vertical. So we're going to work a lot off season to make sure that we're coming in jumping 3 to 4 inches taller than we are now, so that we can make up for some of the height difference that we're losing this season, because we're losing a couple of good players that can jump, but we're going to have players who can come in and start jumping just as well.
Kristen, what advice would you give new players to volleyball?
To always go out there and play hard and practice hard, hustle, go for everything, and really just have fun, make it the best moment.
Coach, what do you think were some highlights of the season?
Wow. We've had some amazing times where we were just in the thick of it, playing neck to neck with teams and playing really good volleyball. And one thing I'm really proud about this season is that a lot of times teams will play down to teams that are a little bit less in skill, but this season our girls stayed playing good volleyball. I would say 98% of our season, we didn't play down to other teams' abilities. We stayed playing good volleyball the whole season, and that made me really proud, because that's a hard thing to do when you're playing a team that's not quite as skilled as you.
What do you think were some highlights from a player's perspective?
Honestly, our team chemistry. I think that was something that we can all take with us off the court and, and still have it in school and, day to day. I think that was honestly one of the biggest highlights of our season.
Well, thank you for being here, and good luck to you both next year.
Thank you.
Don't go away. When we come back, we've got a wrap-up of the golf season, and cross-country coach Amanda Apple joins us to talk about the team's season.
GHS-TV started in 1982, and it was just a couple of cameras, a couple of on-air personality, and it's really grown into what you see today. It's a multi-million-dollar studio with top-of-the-line technology.
Being able to operate, all of the machinery in the control room, being able to use all of our software and hardware that we have around the studio is a great skill because this is top-of-the-line equipment.
I feel like this class has brightened my horizon. It's something that I never thought I would be doing, especially as a student.
GHS-TV is probably one of the most hands-on experiences a student will ever get in their lifetime.
Welcome back to Crosstalk. Nothing really has just the vibe that we have here.
Especially after you finish, you get a real rush of, wow, I just did that.
By the time a student graduates from Germantown High School, they will know pretty much every position there is, from producing to directing to on-air work.
You learn time management, you learn organization, you learn how to work with people, how to better communicate with people.
We put a lot on them, and they have to be able to have the responsibility and the knowledge to get everything that we ask them.
I had very little experience, so in the past 3 years, the skills that I've learned have absolutely exponentially grown.
The class has actually helped me figure out that I want to go to college for journalism.
When a student graduates, they are the best possible version of themselves that they can be.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.
For more information about the Kappa program, visit ghskappa.com or call 755-7775. You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome back to Red Devil Postgame. The GHS golf team has been hitting the links since school began, playing in matches all over the city. The team has focused on rebuilding this season after losing several seniors last year. It's been tough because golf is not an easy sport to master. However, the team is up for the challenge when it comes to building a winning team.
Well, this year we've got a lot of newcomers, lost a lot of our varsity boys last year. So this year we're just really trying to get them acclimated to the rules and the procedures that go on during the course of an event, and just hoping they progress as the year gets going a little bit better.
It can be very challenging to get to know the mechanics and fundamentals of it. So try your best. We are not the best out here. We are not Tiger Woods or Phil Mickelson out here. So try your best.
We're going to turn now to cross country. With us to talk more about the popular sport is Amanda Apple, head coach of the GHS cross country team. Hi, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
Cross country is different from most sports. Could you explain more about what cross country is?
Sure. So cross country is an endurance sport. A typical meet, runners run a 5K, which is about 3.1 miles, and there's still practice and technique involved. It's not just running every day. So we focus on their form, and we still do some strength training and a lot of running as well.
Coach Apple, what techniques can players use to be successful in a race?
So you definitely want a strategy in mind. Like, you don't want to go too fast out of the gate and burn all of your energy in the first mile, and so it's all about finding that strong pace that you can maintain and try to quicken as you get to that last mile, and so you still have some energy left for the kick at the end.
How do breathing techniques factor into the race?
They definitely play a large role in, it's hard to run if you are not breathing properly, and so for the most part, runners just breathe in and out through their mouth, but in times when they're starting to feel very fatigued, sometimes focusing on their breathing and breathing in through their nose, out through their mouth can be a helpful technique. That it's all about the individual runner and what's comfortable for them as well.
I can imagine the training process is rigorous. What goes all into training for a meet?
So it is rigorous. There's a lot of running. It's 6 days of training per week, and with 1 day of rest and stretching. And so on Mondays, we normally do like interval training. On Tuesdays, strength and working on their VO2 max, which is more of like the short kind of sprints for an endurance runner. And then on the weekends, they do their long runs and cross training. So even like swimming, playing basketball, going for a bike ride, just anything that is cardio related is helpful for an endurance runner.
With cross country being outdoors, how do you prepare for the fluctuating weather?
So, we can't control any of that. There's been this massive heat wave, that's been stuck on Memphis, it seems like this fall. And so we would fill the cooler up and bring towels and plenty of water, and I'd encourage them to drink plenty of water all throughout the day. It did kind of affect our practices because we had to take breaks every at least 30 minutes, and so we couldn't really do longer runs that exceeded 30 minutes. But you know what? That's for any outdoor sport, you just have to adapt and make the most of it. And so I think our runners have done a great job with handling the heat and running through it.
You've had a lot of new members come onto the team this year. How do you think they've adjusted?
Our new members have done great, and that's thanks to our veteran runners who have really stepped up and been leaders and showed them, this is what to expect at a meet. This is how you prepare before the race starts. And there's about 16 of us runners that are on the team that you get pretty close throughout the season. And with our new runners, all of that can be attributed to the help of the veterans that have been there.
How do you think team dynamics have changed from last year?
So I was not involved in the cross-country team last year. I can't really speak on what their dynamic was last year. I do know that they did have several seniors graduate, and this year we have one senior, and so it's been more like underclassmen driven. Well, we have a good, strong junior class, I guess. But as far as seniors go, we have just the one, and so dynamic-wise, I'd say they're really close this year. I don't know how close they were last year, but it's a fun group to be around.
What were some highlights of this season?
So we had several runners PR in the same meet, including James, who took first place. He ran a sub-18 minute 5K, which is an awesome time. And so he is placed first in several meets. Zahar Goldkin has also placed in the top 5 a couple of times. And so, but individually, everyone has improved on their time from the first race. And so that's what you like to see, is that, as everyone has their own individual goal, and you train to improve that time, and everybody has been successful in that.
Well, Coach, thank you for talking with us about cross country.
Thank you so much for having me.
We've got to take a break. When we come back, we go downtown to talk with the head coach of Memphis 901 FC.
We see the potential in every single student.
That sounds like a confession to me.
I love watching these kids as they start as freshmen in high school and watching them mature and grow.
At last, my right arm is complete again!
The theater program at GHS, it's something special.
It is very intensive, it's very interactive.
When a student starts here their freshman year, they start with Introduction to Theater. And after that year, they have a choice to either go into acting or technical theater. And then after that, they join our production workshop class. It's the class that is completely run by students.
The students do mostly everything. We build the sets, we do lighting, we make the costumes, we do the shows.
It's very fun. I mean, everybody's very supportive of each other.
Now we're all in this together.
It's taught me so much about how to act and how to have a stage presence.
Not only are we teaching the students the skills that they need to be a great performer or a great stage manager or a wonderful lighting designer, we're teaching them skills that they're going to be able to apply to whatever they do in their life.
You guys are fabulous! This department not only makes wonderful theater, but more importantly, this department makes wonderful people.
For more information about the Kappa program, visit GHS-Kappa.com or call 755-7775. You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome back to Red Devil Postgame. Memphis 901 FC is the newest minor league team on the block. They kicked off their inaugural season this past spring with much excitement and fanfare. GHS-TV reporter Madison Ricks met up with the team's head coach Tim McQueen to talk about Memphis's love of soccer.
Coach McQueen, thank you for sitting down with us.
It's my pleasure. I'm excited to have you all here, and it's great to have you, and it's a wonderful experience for me.
We are so excited to have 901 FC in Memphis. How or why was the team chosen to host a team in Memphis?
Well, it's a long process. So the ownership, Peter Frun, Craig Unger, and Tim Howard of international soccer fame pitched the idea to the city. And then when they got the approval for the city, they went to the United Soccer League, which is the USL. put together a bid package showing the economic impact of what the team could bring, season tickets, the type of team that we would have. After they got done doing all that, they were awarded the franchise last year to start play in 2019, and we've been excited about it ever since.
And a chance here for Memphis, and it's in! And Memphis 901 FC take the lead here in Talent Energy in the 58th minute.
Why was it important to bring this level of soccer to Memphis?
Memphis is a really hidden soccer gem. There's so many people who are passionate about the game here. So to have a professional team that is really the second level of in the soccer pyramid in U.S. soccer, to have that kind of quality and that kind of professional player here in the city says a lot for what people think of Memphis and how the fans are educated. And to bring something to Memphis, we want to make sure that it's first class. Because that's what the people deserve, that's what the city deserves. So to have the opportunity to bring a championship level team into Memphis was really the aim and the goal. And we feel like we've accomplished that part of it. And we have some outstanding players, and it was important to make sure that we have a team too that represents the philosophy of the city, that hardworking, honest, good people.
Coach McQueen, to say soccer is popular is an understatement. How has the more recent popularity in the U.S. brought more attention to 901 FC?
I think it's done a tremendous job of bringing attention to our team here, Memphis 901. There's more kids playing. I mean, soccer's on TV all the time, so you can watch it. So there's this renewed interest and enthusiasm in the sport. It's a sport where you don't have to be 7 foot to play, and you don't have to be 280 pounds to play. It's for us normal people, so it has an appeal that way. So yeah, the games on TV, the amount of kids playing, the amount of parents now who have played the game at some sort in their lifetime has all pushed this move forward. And we've seen the results here at Memphis with the outstanding support we get from the fans.
Foot race. What a move by able to keep it in play. Najem crossing, and it's in!
Do you think this has brought more people out to see a game?
Oh, 100%. Everywhere our players go and where I've been, people, thank us, one, for having a team, and they're excited about the game they experience. They come out, and, in soccer it's different. The fans are an important part of the game. They can interact, they light flares, they sing, they chant. So they're an integral part of the game. So yeah, it's absolutely brought people to the stadium, and I think parents now have had a positive experience themselves in the game, want to bring their kids and expose them to that experience as well.
Let's talk about the players now. What is the tryout process?
So what we did was we had an open tryout for players here in the area or around the country who wanted to come and show us their abilities to see if they were up for professional soccer. So that was very well received. We had several people, a couple hundred people come out locally. Then we had an invite-only trial where we took some of the college players, collegiate players from the area and around the country and brought them in. And then, we acquired players from other professional teams that, were looking to either come to Memphis or were out of a contract. So it was a very long process, a very thorough process. I think for us, it was important that we had good character in the team because we wanted to represent the city well. We want our players to be in the community, getting out to universities, getting out to schools and churches, and being part of the fabric of Memphis. So that was also part of our selection process, making sure we had those kind of players. I am proud to say that Jim Barkey, one of our goalkeepers, came all the way through the tryout process and was signed to a contract. So we were delighted that actually shows that it can happen. But it was a very extensive process, and we're really proud of the guys we selected.
Coach McQueen, thank you again for sitting down with me. Enjoy the rest of your season.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate you coming out, and I hope to see you all at a game.
The girls' soccer team has had a respectable season this year with a 4-1-5 record. Reporter Madison Riggs got an exclusive post-game interview with Coach Ashley Henderson and player Lily Roberts.
Thanks, Akila. I'm here with Ms. Henderson and Lily of the Lady Red Devils soccer team. That was a tough loss against Bartlett just now, but I want to commend you and your team for your effort. Lily, what worked tonight and what didn't?
I think as far as what worked, we were really working on our communication, and we were really working on
encouraging each other, you know, being like, when something goes wrong, this is what you should do instead. And so I feel like that worked really well. I think what we need to work on is obviously the other team, they were playing a lot with triangles, so kind of working on covering each other would be really good. And so I think that's what we can do in our next game against Lausanne.
What about you, Ms. Henderson? Where do you think the team can improve?
I think they definitely can improve with the defense, and like Lily was saying, they worked a lot with triangles, which we haven't seen before, and so we need to be ready for all sorts of offenses. But I am very proud of the team. They improved so much throughout the season, and even though it was a tough loss, I'm happy with how we played.
Ms. Henderson, you came in to coach the team shortly after the season started. How did the team respond?
Everyone was super positive. They were very happy to just still have a team and go forward. And so I think everyone was very encouraging and welcoming. If I don't know the proper soccer terms, they definitely kind of went with it, and it worked out.
Let's look ahead to districts. Lily, how will the team prepare?
Preparing for districts, I think just keep getting better and keep just spending more time as a team, because obviously we need to keep getting to know each other. So I think preparing, really working on our passing and really just working on covering each other's backs, because we're probably going to be playing Houston and Collierville, and so we're going to need all the fight, all the hustle we can get.
What have you learned from working with the team this season, Ms. Henderson?
Oh, I have definitely learned how to encourage others. You should hear them on the bench. They are so encouraging to all the players. And I think that was just, even though I see that in my classroom every day, it's still nice to see outside as a sport coming together and just focusing on one goal.
Ms. Henderson, Lily, thank you for talking with me.
Thanks
for having us.
Akila, back to you.
Thanks for tuning in to our first episode of Red Devil Postgame this season.
From the studio to the field, we're covering the sports that you want to know about. I'm Erin Parker.
I'm Madison Ricks.
I'm Maricus Lambert.
And I'm Akila Suggs. We hope to see you next quarter on Red Devil Postgame.
Go Red Devils!